and this is the Chapter 14. Current law, no chapter exists, and this is their concern. Because of the special procedural and substantive rules that are perceived to be needed to make bankruptcy a robust alternative to a government agency resolution for the nation's largest financial institution, there needs to be a mechanism within the Bankruptcy Code for A, incorporating a vast majority of common Bankruptcy Code provisions in Chapters 1, 3, and 5, as well as 7 or 11, while B, ensuring that those special procedural and substantive rules govern and amend or override certain common Bankruptcy Code provisions for such financial institutions. This is where they create loopholes and they tailor the law to benefit them, right? Proposal, and this is the scary part. In essence, our proposal provides a new bankruptcy process, including certain new substantive rules for financial institutions for the liquidation or reorganization of these defined financial institutions. At the same time, the Bankruptcy Code structure and rules for liquidation proceeding in Chapter 7 and for reorganization proceeding in Chapter 11 provide a starting place, and this is important, with a wealth of important judicial gloss on statutory terminology, okay, that would be usefully applied in many situations, including a covered financial institution. Usefully applied. Don't you just love that? I mean, most of these Congress critters don't read these bills, as we recently saw with Obamacare, and as Jesse Ventura pointed out in the FEMA camp episode, they don't even write these bills. And the average American, even the average well-informed American, doesn't understand that these bills aren't written by the Congress people. They're written by outside entities, and that the Congress people don't even read them half the time. All they do is introduce them to the floor. They're the only ones who can introduce them to the floor. Anybody could write a bill. So, and we know that they're either corrupt, incompetent, or lazy. So none of them are going to go and even be bothered to even look up the terminology. And most of them don't even have a law background. Not that you need a law background. You just need to be able to know how to go look up information and think a little. Okay, continuing. To accomplish both goals simultaneously, we propose that the proceeding or case, when a covered financial institution invokes or is placed in bankruptcy, follow the rules of the existing Bankruptcy Code, except where we propose to change the rules, particularly because our proposal envisions a different judicial, quote, path, end quote, as we describe below, involving district judges in lieu of bankruptcy judges. Bankruptcy judges are appointed by the president and have 14-year terms, and they also can have their salary decreased. Article 3 district court judges have tenure, and you can't touch their pay. They're untouchable. I mean, it's complete and utter separation. And anyway, moving on. Okay. Particularly because our proposal envisions a different judicial path, as we describe below, to use the existing Bankruptcy Code structure and attempt to amend various provisions in Chapter 7 and 11 to accommodate our proposal would be cumbersome. Thus, our proposal is to create a new Chapter 14 in the Bankruptcy Code and require covered financial institutions to concurrently file for Chapter 14 and Chapter 7 or 11. That is, covered financial institutions cannot file for Chapter 7 or 11 without also filing a Chapter 14. And requiring the resulting liquidation, which is the Chapter 7, or reorganization, which is the Chapter 11, proceeding to be conducted according to the rules and under the special court supervision of Chapter 14. The essence then of this change would be to insert a new subsection into subsection 109.2 that A, limits Chapter 14 to financial institutions as defined. B, provides that a financial institution may not be a debtor under Chapter 7 or Chapter 11 without first or concurrently commencing a case under Chapter 14. And C, provides that all proceedings under the simultaneous Chapter 7 or Chapter 11 shall be conducted pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 14. Part C, assignment Chapter 14 cases and proceedings to designated Article 3 district judges. Now, this is the most scariest part, and I'm not going to go into this in depth. I'm not going to read it. All I'm going to say is what they want to do is they want to, in their exact words, they want to funnel these cases to a predetermined set of Article 3 judges, and the way they're going to do it is really screwy, and I don't have enough time to address it here, but I will when I update you, and I will put up that case law. I will, as I've done here, I will make copies of this, and I will find a way to share these with you online, and I will put the links in the description box, but that should be enough to get your attention, I think, if not bore you to death. And it's not up to me to educate you. It's up to you to educate yourself. All I can do is share my resources and share my work and get your attention. So I'm relying on you guys to get this out there and to start discussing this, because I did read the whole bill and there's some really scary stuff in here. And I would like you guys to do the same so we can get this discussion going in a public forum, because we cannot count on the regulators. We can't count on the mainstream media. We can only count on ourselves. So please, let's get the conversation started. Chapter 14, the big bad.